Hey Sagittarius, this is going to be your reading from March of 2020. This is a general reading. It also will not resonate with every single Sagittarius. If it does resonate with you, wonderful. But if it does not, please feel free to check out your moon or rising sign. And I will leave a timestamp in the comment section below for when the reading actually begins. So let's jump into it here. Can I please get a clear and concise message for my Sagittarius, please, for the month of March? What's going on with Sagittarius for the month of March, please? What should they be aware of? What should they heed? What should they focus on? What's going on with them for the month of March? Dark Whisper, please, for my Sagittariuses. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, let's jump into this. So let's start out with your career and work sector. We've got the Ace of Wands here. So it looks like there's going to be some new project, new endeavor that you're going to be embarking on in the month of March. It feels like it's going to be something that you're going to be very excited about, something that you're kind of enthusiastic about pursuing. It could break up a little bit of the doldrums for you if you are kind of in a period of kind of like stagnation when it comes to work. I feel like there's something that's coming in that's going to be, there's going to be almost like a reinvention of yourself, or you may create something. There's something that's very creative about what's going on for you in career and work. So if there's something, if you feel right now that you're kind of very stable at your job and it's not something where you see opportunities for new things to emerge within that particular environment, in that soil, I feel like you need to start looking outside of that for other things that you may be interested in, businesses that you may want to pursue, because I really feel like March would be a great month for you to start planting those seeds, because I feel like you'll see sprouts probably quicker than you would expect. But I feel like for some of you too, it's time to embark on a new career path. Definitely. Even if it's just something that you do that's just ancillary to what you do. I feel like it's definitely time to kind of take action towards something that maybe that you really feel called to or passionate about. So let's talk about your knowledge and experience sector here. And for the month of March, you got the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So I feel like for a group of you, because the Seven of Swords in the reverse can talk about like a confrontation that is very argumentative, getting, some bad advice, bad counsel, or people, speaking about you in an unfavorable light with the Seven of Swords in the reverse. There's something, I feel like for the month of March, you could be at odds with someone who feels like they're right and is questioning the direction you're going or the thought process you're using when it comes to your decision making. And I feel like someone's going to be challenging what it is that you feel like you know in the month of March. Almost as if they're questioning your knowledge for sure. Or they're questioning the way that you're going about doing things. And that could cause some conflict in some area of your life in the month of March. This also can be just negative. someone could be speaking negatively on just the way that you do things. This could be within your family, could be at work, it could be in any sector, but there just could be, and it's about the way that you think or the way you do things. With the Seven of Swords in the reverse coming up in this particular position, it's going to be something you'll confront, though. It's not something that because the Seven of Swords in the upright is getting away, right? Almost like he's making a clean getaway. With it in the reverse, it's something that you'll know. It will come to your awareness, and you'll be able to confront it with the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Now, for the past position that's going to be affecting your life in the month of March, we've got the Hanged Man in the reverse. So I feel like there's something that at one point you I feel like there's some things that you let slide with the Hanged Man energy in the past that are now coming back, and you're going to have to revisit them and deal with them. Almost as if like something came into your life and you had so much else going on that you just kind of swept it under the rug here with the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man energy talks about being stagnant, things that you don't confront, right? In the upright, it's allowing things to kind of happen and life happen to you in a sense, and you're just kind of viewing it from almost from a different perspective, but also you're kind of bound, right? You have no effect on what's going on. There's something that's coming in from your past that now you're seeing very, very clearly that you should have addressed in the past that you didn't. That you just kind of, you could have had other things going on in your life where you just couldn't focus on it, or you just couldn't give it the attention that maybe you needed to. Well, it's coming back in the month of March, and you're going to have to address the situation. It could be a conflict with someone potentially that you just didn't address, but you'll need to come back and address that this month. Now, let's talk about your finance and your money. We got the Page of Pentacles, so that's why I feel really strongly for this month that if you have even been considering or entertaining the idea of starting something new outside of work for you or career, or starting a new project that could kind of bolster your career or business that maybe you already are a part of, I feel like this month you are going to begin to see some payoff. It's not going to be major, right? This is the Page of Pentacles, but it is bringing in something stable. And I think what I really feel here is that if you kind of utilize this new energy to put towards something new, you're going to see sprouts really early, and that's going to be an indicator for you that this is something that you need to put more energy or more focus into. I really feel like there's something that you need to put some energy in this month, and if you do, especially if you're looking at multiple things, right? Say you're trying to kind of evaluate a couple of different options for yourself financially to make some extra money. Say you're trying to do both. One of those things is going to sprout early. One of those things is going to provide financial benefit earlier than the other, and that's going to indicate for you that that's the one that you need to focus on. And it's going to pop up very, very quickly with this Page of Pentacles energy. It might require a little bit of acquisition of some knowledge for you. You may have to study a little bit to become a little bit more acquainted with what you're going to be jumping into, because some part of it may be a little bit new to you, but I feel like you're primed to learn what you need to learn. And once you do, you're going to see the sprouts very, very quickly once you start to kind of invest in that. Now let's talk about how the world's going to be seeing you. We got the Two of Swords. I feel like people are going to be thinking you're a little bit indecisive about something this month. And I feel like, although there's some indecision here, what I really feel strongly is that, because the Two of Swords is also a card of balance, right? It's also a card of because this person's indecisive or perceived as indecisive because there are two things that they're weighing, two ideas. And I feel like you could be perceived this month as someone who is contemplating multiple things and trying to find a balance with pursuing new things and keeping the things that you have stable. I will also say, though, the Two of Swords is a very, very peaceful energy. So I don't feel like you'll be too erratic or anything like this month. I feel that strongly, that if there is some conflict that you have to maybe address, maybe this is something you may have to address from the past, that you're going to be the peacemaker in that particular situation. You're going to approach it, which is going to be interesting. I feel like people don't always see you that way. So, for some of you, now for others of you, maybe you play that role a lot, but for some of you, this is going to be a little bit different. People are going to see that you're not, you're willing to kind of call a truce here, make peace with a situation. Now let's talk about your love sector. You got the Star card. So, I mean, there could be an Aquarius that's going to play a large role in your love life for a few of you. But I really feel like, what a great card to have in your love sector. I feel like if you've been a little bit negative about what the universe has for you as far as love goes, that's going to change. I feel like in the month of March, either you're just going to have a new perspective on love that is more optimistic, or you are going to meet someone that forces you to be a little bit more optimistic about what's out there. I feel like because this is a card of faith, right? Hope, belief in something that sometimes can seem a little bit unattainable. And I feel like that's going to shift for you, where you may meet someone that is just, God, that just checks all the boxes, right? And you're like, I didn't really think that, I thought I would have to sacrifice some things in love. And I feel like you may encounter someone that kind of makes you realize, you know what, I don't necessarily have to settle on everything. You have to compromise, but you don't have to necessarily settle on everything. Some of you, if you're already involved in a relationship, it's going to be a great month for you. Right? Things are going to be clicking. You're going to feel, because this is like the ultimate wish fulfillment card. So you may be getting a wish fulfilled within this connection. Things may smooth out for you if you've been having a rough patch with someone, and it may come to a point where you feel like there's been some healing in your relationship, in your connection, and that could have been what you were wishing for. So it's a great omen for you in this sector, whether you are single, dating, or you're already committed. There's healing, there's growth, and there's fulfillment in this sector for you, which is awesome. Now, let's talk about your support system, family, friends. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. So the Wheel of Fortune always talks about cycles beginning, cycles ending. It talks kind of about the karma of life, right? And I feel like sometimes when you see this in the reverse, there can be some kind of unexpected letdown with the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like sometimes there's something in your family sector right now. There could be a particular person where the flow with this person is off with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Kind of the energy between you two is off. Things aren't going as they should, right? The wheel isn't turning smoothly for you. And there's almost been kind of like this reversion or reversal. Things could have been going really well for, with a friendship or with someone in your family, and all of a sudden it turns. You could also be dealing with someone who, for some of you, that may relapse in a sense. So there may be someone who you have been helping, and they look like they've been going in the right direction, and you've been providing support for them, and they relapse in some way, however that applies. And they fall back into bad patterns again, potentially. And that may be something that you're going to have to deal with in this month, and it may lead to a little bit of disappointment for you. Also, I feel like for some of you, especially if you're planning something with family, it's going to be a little bit of a rough month for planning. Say you're planning like an event, say you're planning, family reunion for the summer, and you're looking for venues and nothing is quite working out for you. You can't get the date you want. You can't get the time slot you want. It's a little bit almost as if there's one thing after the other that's just not quite working out and just throwing a monkey wrench in your plans essentially for the month. So that's something that this is going to be a little bit of a challenging sector for you for the month of March. But remember, the wheel can always turn, right? Turn back around here, but it's just going to be a little bit of a challenging energy that you'll have to deal with. And people can be a little bit rough to deal with when things aren't going exactly as planned. So keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about your probable future position. You got the Ten of Swords in the reverse. The best way to get this card, right? There's something here for you by the end of March that there's going to be some real healing for you, especially in the love sector. I really see that very, very strongly. Also, if this thing that could be revisiting you from the past that you kind of have to address, I feel like there's some healing in a couple of different sectors here that's really possible for you, and I feel like it's because you are taking that peacemaker position. But I feel like in the reverse for this Ten of Swords, it talks about improvement, right? There's going to be areas of your life where you may have felt a little bit of pain, discomfort. You felt like you could not break through, and for some reason the month of March is going to be that month that's really going to help you. You're going to gain, and I feel like the Ten of Swords in the reverse is so great because it's a card of gain in so many ways. Like, you're making gains internally with healing, right? If it's financially, if you were having a rough patch or you felt stagnant, all of a sudden those things are going to be released from you this month, and you're going to be able to get a new idea, start something new, make some progress, and start to see the sprouts. And that kind of eases any pain or mental conflict. I feel like you're going to be coming out of a lot of mental conflict in the month of March for sure. A lot of things that you've been either worried about or stressing about, you are going to either make a decision not to do that, or you're going to be taking, I feel like, action towards either healing certain things within yourself or putting action towards things that you want in your future, and that's going to be clearing up a lot of mental anxiety for you. Any mental anxiety that you were feeling, it's going to be subsiding for you significantly in the month of March. So I hope that was helpful and provided a little bit of clarity for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.